Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the m3Atl0afblog. This is episode 12, and it's finally great to be back in the grand scheme of things, finally recording one of these again. In real time, it's kind of been a while since I've been doing one of these, and kind of feels great to be back behind the mic. Now, on that note, I would like to mention in advance that if for whatever reason you realize a difference in quality in terms of my voice compared to previous episodes, that is because for whatever reason, Audacity and other programs that I use to record on my computer just don't want to work, period. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I have so much stuff on my computer or if it's just because my computer isn't the right kind of, tech to run such programs on. And it's kind of weird because Audacity is pretty much one of the most open source, easy to use, good flowing programs you can use, and I don't know what's causing it. So if you notice any sort of difference in quality, then just getting that preference out right now because I'm actually recording this using an app on my tablet, so we're gonna see how well this works out. But I have done test recordings previously, so I think this won't be too bad as long as you guys are able to hear me clearly and it isn't sort of a crud show throughout the entire hour. Then it's all good. But yeah, whatever keeps me making these things, then I think everything's alright. So, I will have to mention that this will probably be one of the more sort of sad to discuss episodes, yet rather heartwarming at the same time. And I'm also kind of surprised at how a good number of people legitimately actually wanted me to talk about this topic and know my thoughts about it on a whole. And I should mention that the reason why it took me so long to come out with this for quite a while is because I've had so much other stuff to do in real life, but, it's more so the fact that I couldn't really just respond to something like this right away, especially considering the huge shocker that it kind of left me on. Truth be told, well, I'll explain more later on in the blog, but there's a reason why I had to take a bit longer time than usual when it comes to discussing my thoughts and reviewing something like this. But I'm gonna try my best to not keep this I'm gonna keep this as positive and as upbeat as possible. I'm not gonna make it a whole sad show throughout because that's not what I really want. But for those of you who don't even know what I'm talking about, which, for one, I'm surprised, and at the same time, I can understand because not a lot of people actually know about this yet. But I'll explain more into it as we get deeper into the episode. Hopefully, I can keep this under an hour. So let me stop rambling and let's get on. So, topic for today is my afterthoughts on Ponycon 2016, which was held on February 13th, 14th, and 15th, if I am correct. Which was Valentine's and President's Day weekend. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Yes, alright. So, I would like to clarify that this won't be the only Ponycon-related m3Atl0af blog that I'll be doing. I do plan on doing another episode that will retrospect on our thoughts on, all the years we've been going as a whole, and just giving a general review and, just recalling all the good times that we've had. But yeah, I just wanted to say that this won't be the only one. So, I do want to bring in Lorenzo for it, maybe, if possible, Isaac and Caesar, if, they're up for it. But for this is something that I wanted to do on my own because Ponycon is something that I've been doing for a number of years now, alongside Lorenzo, of course, and I did consider bringing him on, but I felt that this is something that I should be able to talk about on my own, and if Lorenzo has any thoughts himself, maybe he can do his own Lorenzo cast episode on it, or he could just come on for that episode I'm planning. But yeah, Okay, so, oh, and now that I think about it, I should also mention that, in case you guys are wondering, because I know some of you guys have been subscribed since early 2015 for the exact reason I'm about to say, but for those of you who are expecting the Ponycon 2015 and 2016 videos, wondering if those are still happening, if they're just not going to happen, period, I just want to clarify right now that if you haven't been reading any of the update posts I've been making or watching any of the update videos, they are still happening, guys. At the time of this, they are currently unedited, both of them. I don't even have the footage yet for 2016, either from my friends and from the officials over at the place. But BonyCon 2016 will be the next thing I would like to do. Right now, as of this recording, I'm currently finishing up New York Comic Con 2014 and getting that out there. So if you guys are catching this m3Atl0af blog when it comes out, I hope you guys look forward to that. And if all four, or well, whatever amount of parts are up for New York Comic Con, if they're already up, I hope you guys go check them out. You know, I worked really hard on them, and me and Lorenzo worked really hard on filming them, and we did a lot of cool stuff. So please go check that out. And I hope you guys look forward to PonyCon 2015 and 2016, the videos, because we did a lot of hard work on filming everything that you're basically gonna see in that. So, yeah. So I guess let's get on to the topic right now. So, oh, and one more thing. One more thing! I'm sorry for not getting to the topic right away and just filling this whole 7 minutes with, like, preferences and all that, but I should preface that, unless otherwise brought up, everything that I'm about to state is from my personal point of view, from my weekend experience, and are of my own opinion. You know, should you guys need any official statements or reasonings regarding Ponycon in general, you know, I'd like to redirect you to the Ponycon website, you know, Ponycon.NYC, for more information. And, you know, if you guys need any other opinions, you know, there's other reliable sources I would like to redirect you to, like, you know, my good man Lorenzo, anyone who's from Bronies-NYC, any of the guests that attended, and they'll tell you they've had a good time over there. There's certain people out there you should watch out for, because they'll, like most people, will spread bull information about the con as a whole, but in general, like, this whole thing is just my opinion, and if I end up saying something wrong, or if I end up upsetting or peeving off a lot of people, or, you know, if I just don't say something right, or if it's something I shouldn't have said on the internet, or whatever have you, then I do apologize in advance. And there's also some stuff that I can't talk about because of the fact that, you know, I am, you know, while, you know, I am technically, you know, part of Ponycon crew, and there are certain things that I can't really mention for, like, you know, I wouldn't say legal reasons, but, you know, just cause I can't really, like, just outright mention it or whatever have you. So, yeah. Alright, so now let's get on with it. So I guess we should start with the build up to it. So, a few months back, as far back as February 2015, literally, it was the last day of PonyCon 2015, on a Monday. I forgot what day that was exactly, but it was on that day that, surprisingly enough, they were pretty much confident in announcing that there will be PonyCon 2016 happening on the exact same day as 2015 was ending. Kind of surprising and kind of cool at the same time. You know, you could just instantly buy your tickets for the following year. And since then, it's just been wild mass guessing as to what was going to happen, who was going to show up, what exactly was going down, where is it going to take place. Obviously, me and Lorenzo, as always, were hyped for the event in general. We couldn't wait. We were speculating on who was going to show up, and it's kind of funny because one night we were actually, and this is 100% true, we were legitimately joking around that, you know, PonyCon 2016, Lauren Faust and Craig McCracken come just for Meatloaf Man only. Obviously, we were just joking. It was actually Lorenzo himself that made that joke, but, you know, it was kind of funny, and it was a thing in the back of our heads for a couple months, and then come New York Comic Con 2015 weekend, they actually bring up the announcement on that Saturday that Lauren Faust and Bronies-NYC were confirmed for 2016. And a lot of you saw it, but we did a reaction on video to the announcement of it. I literally dropped my tablet on one of my cats when that announcement came forth. I was just so shocked and so surprised. Finally, after the mess that we personally experienced at BronyCon 2012 in the summertime, all those years back, we're finally going to be able to rectify, or rather, like, make up for the sort of not great time that we had at that convention. Because if you guys saw the video, it was just jam-packed full of lines just to get autographs, and that's pretty much what we did for the only day that we were able to go, just go on lines, a limited amount of panels that we didn't even get footage of. Just for a meeting for Tara Strong and Lauren Faust that would only take place for like about 1 or 2 minutes, if not even less than that. But I was still glad to be able to have been in their presence regardless, and to have obtained their autographs. But, finally, they're coming back. It's in a time where I think everyone is kind of chill, and I'd have like a better shot at finally being able to talk to Lauren Faust about how much he actually means to me. Because I don't know if I've ever... This is probably another episode I'm going to have to get to, but for those of you who are unaware, Lauren Faust and, by extension, Craig McCracken are my heroes, my personal heroes when it comes to, what I want to do as a career, inspiring me, feeding my childhood with their quality works. And basically, a lot of stuff that I've been wanting to do is primarily inspired by them, alongside, other animators and content creators, comic book makers, writers, etc. But those two are primarily who it all goes back to when it comes to me. I enjoyed, Powerpuff Girls growing up. I loved Foster's Home. And, obviously, I'm really, really huge into ponies, so it just all came to be that those two are the ones that pretty much fed me all throughout, and made my imagination as huge as it could possibly be today with all the ideas I'm coming out with. I just had to, like, express my feelings for, my thanks towards both of them. But I'll get into that, more into that in this, but basically, going back to the build-up, more guests were announced over time. We learned that Vincent Tong and Ingrid Nilsson were coming back, which was really great. It was awesome meeting them the previous year. We learned that Shannon Shanken, Kazumi Evans, a whole bunch of other people were coming. Big Jim Miller, and a whole bunch of other people. If you're wondering why I'm mentioning a little bit of less names in terms of guests that came this year, it's not because they're unforgettable. It's literally because that I just can't remember them at the moment. I'm literally recording this not without any sort of script or resource, only just bullet points. So, but undoubtedly, beyond all that, one of the big things this year was whether or not we were 100% going to be able to keep our jobs from the previous year. Because for those unaware, that we've officially become part of Ponycon crew in 2015. We became part of their video crew thanks to one Bill Crumlick, the operations manager at Ponycon. A really, really awesome dude. Really big special thanks and shout outs to him. I'll probably be giving more of those towards the end, but he's the reason why we were able to have our jobs over there, besides the fact that, they know us through the videos that we've been making for them, and from all the meetups that we've been attending. And, the Ponycon crew in general, the staff and the other crew that we've met, they're just a really awesome group of people. And, it was great to have been working alongside them for quite a while now. It always feels like I'm coming back to like another set of family when I'm with them. So we were part of video crew on there, and we were wondering whether or not we were going to be able to keep our jobs. And thankfully, we were able to, with a little help from Isaac, of course. And that was basically our main job again this year, just being in the main hall where all the big panels are taking place, which I'm definitely down with, and recording all of the big panels, displaying them on the big screen for people in the audience to see, and archiving them for future reference for people who want to look back on the panels of Ponycon. And it was great because that meant I got to be a lot closer to the guests, get some background information for the majority of the day while doing my job at the same time. It means we get free admission, of course, into the convention because we are on crew and we are dedicating our time and services towards helping them out with stuff that is kind of difficult for a small group of people to do without a large crew of volunteers helping out. And it's something that we do best, and it also meant I got to be a lot closer to, Lauren Faust and a lot of the other guests to, learn, more about them from what I already know. What they've been doing all their lives in terms of their career, how they got started in the industry. And it was a great learning experience. It kind of felt like it kind of felt like going to the school that I really wanted to be a part of that never existed, if that makes any sort of any amount of sense. In general, from a attendee perspective, coming back to PonyCon 2016 kind of felt a bit like, obviously it was a new experience as it is every year. It took place at a new venue. It took place at the sorry, I was about to say Landmark Lowe's. That was second year. The Grand Prospect Hall in Brooklyn, which took place in which is in Prospect Avenue, and the area in general, oddly enough, in my opinion, kind of looked a bit desolate, which was kind of weird considering how the Prospect Hall itself kind of looks. It kind of looks like it would be in a more populated area like Times Square or something like that. I'm not saying it needs to be more people around, but hey, it was kind of a quiet place. And weather in general over the weekend was, and obviously this is out of their control, this is not PonyCon's fault whatsoever, but the weather was pretty terrible that weekend, honestly. It was snowing, there was like -2 degrees weather, you had to wear your sweater inside the building, even with like, the heating bills, like, I can't imagine, had to have been terrible, like, it must have gone through the roof for the staff having to turn it up all the way, and even then, sometimes it didn't even work all that often or that well in certain rooms in the building. But every one of us managed to make it through and adapt to it. It's New York, it's February, what do you expect? In a day like today, you can't really expect the weather to be as consistent and the same as usual. You can't expect the snow to stop in January. Of course, it's going to start extending over a couple extra weeks. That's how Mother Nature rolls. No human being can control that. Contrary to what Drake Parker wants, you can't just stop the rain. But coming back as like an attendee to the convention this year kind of felt regular, because at that point I was used to it. I regularly visit conventions of different kinds at different venues, and it just felt like any other year, like, yeah, I'm going to be doing this next year and the year after probably, and this is just, this is nothing new. Everyone's here is like, wow, this is a new experience. I've never done anything like this. Look at how fancy this place is. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm going to meet all these awesome guests and all that. And I'm just here like, yeah, this is nothing new to me. Literally, it feels very, very weird when you're around all of these high caliber guests and these celebrities and all that, and it just feels very regular to you, like it's literally something you do every day. I guess that's how it is when you start doing it more often. You just feel like, yeah, these guys feel like regular people to me. I like them, I like what they do, but at the same time, I feel like we're on a similar level. Like, I don't feel like I need to bow down in their presence, even though they really are just awesome people in general. It was great. There was a wide variety of vendors this year, a lot of great artists. Denny Bud came back, we had Jada Jinx, a whole bunch of new artists officially for the convention were there. We had the Brony Thank You Fund, which thankfully I got to donate towards this year, fighting towards cancer, and that was great. I got a calendar from that. Obviously, as I've mentioned before, I got to meet a lot of great people in the community. I got to reconnect with some old friends. I got to meet up with some fans. I got to meet up with Stefan Goldberg, of course, the main man. I got to meet up with Jose, Mega Man, and G, a good bro of mine for a couple of years now. I got to meet one of my Skype friends, Honorbound Brony. It's awesome. You know, a lot of it's just so cool in general. Like not even just with Ponycon, but with these conventions in general, where a lot of my friends that I've met in different places converge into just one spot, and it's just like a whole. It feels like a whole movie adventure crossed over with many special guests in between. It's just a great experience. For those of you who've been to conventions before and know what I'm talking about, you guys will definitely know this kind of experience that I'm describing. For those of you who've never really been to any sort of convention before, it would be kind of weird for you guys to understand unless you actually went to one yourself, or at least not even just one, just multiple. And you know, PonyCon's been something I've been going to for multiple years now, since the very beginning, and I've gotten many friends through that, and it kind of feels like a little bit of like, sort of like bookends, where everything just comes together in one specific year. Now, in terms of guests, as far as I'm aware, I've gotten to meet, obviously, I told you guys, I got to meet up with Lauren Faust, tell her how much she means to me in a nutshell, and something intelligent that I've actually did prior to the convention was, you know, there's so much I wanted to tell her, and by extension to her husband, so I got to make a sort of like little gift for Lauren, where I made a little drawing for her, as well as I wrote a letter, basically, telling her how much her and her husband's works mean to me, and how much it has impacted me and put me on the road that I'm currently walking down today. And I got to give it to her in like a little envelope. And to this day, I really don't know if she's even read it or has looked at it, because I thanked her, you know, on Twitter, and, you know, told her to enjoy what I gave her. So far, as of, you know, it's been 2 months and no word back. I'll never really know whether or not she actually got to read it. Maybe she did, maybe, I don't know. But regardless, I still enjoyed making it for her, and if she did take a look at it, I hope she, you know, enjoyed it. It was great seeing her, and as far as I'm aware, the person who was sitting next to her apparently was her brother, which I had no clue until after the fact, which it's kind of interesting to see him too. Yeah, I also got to catch up with Vincent Tong. He remembers us from last year without any reintroductions, which was very freaking awesome. Shoutouts to him, especially. Really hope to see him again in the future. He is just a phenomenal person to meet in general. Got to see Ingrid Nelson again. We got to meet Kazumi Evans. No wait, not Kazumi Evans, unfortunately. Shannon Chang Kent, I meant to say. We got to meet up with her in the a lot of these guests in general. We got to meet during the VIP party that took place, I think, Saturday night. Yeah, so we got to meet them more, converse with them, introduce what we do. Like, not really so much YouTube, but like in general, like who we are as regular people. It's really cool connecting with them and getting to learn more about them. We got to finally meet Bronies-NYC, which I've been wanting to do since forever. We got to meet Peter, and I kind of geeked out because we held up a conversation with him, but he also kind of grabbed a hold of my Rainbow Dash and Ryoka Matsui necklace just to get a closer look at it. It was kind of funny, and we also we got to see Big Jim Miller as well. Really funny dude. Really also hilarious at taking pictures, which you guys will see eventually when we do that. Undoubtedly, though, even past all of them, the one guest that I knew for sure that I needed to meet this year, regardless, no matter what, was Lena Hall. For those of you unaware, Lena Hall is the, I believe, Grammy-nominated singer and actress who portrayed Rara in the recent, it's sort of still recent, but the season 5 episode with her and AJ. You know, I just love that episode so much. That song that she sings at the end of the episode actually kind of helped me out in real life through a tough time that I was going through very briefly. If you guys remember that hiatus. And, I just had to meet her in real life, thank her for that, and get a picture with her. I wanted her autograph too, which I learned would also come with an actual hoopsies, but I didn't get that because I wanted to save some money for the basically for the rest of the week because I knew I'd be going back to school and have to buy lunch for myself. So I totally could have gotten it, but I decided against it. But I did get a picture with her, and honestly, in my opinion, when it comes to autographs versus pictures, I really much would rather go for pictures since they obviously last way longer, and you don't have to store them anywhere but online. And a picture in general, as they say, says a million words compared to a simple signature. Not to put down the concept of autographing or anything, but if you gave me an option between the two, I would go for picture, especially since that's more physical proof that I did meet this person and I could just recollect on that exact moment how it looked and all that. It was an honor to have met her and be in her presence in general, and she was awesome when that concert was happening with I should go on to mention the events because I haven't really talked about it. Alright, so I'll jump ahead and talk about an event that happened on Sunday, the Singing Voices of the My Little Pony concert. Basically, that concert was featuring all of the voice actors and actresses from the show who were capable of singing or who sing in the show for their characters, singing a variety of songs, not even just from Friendship is Magic, but from different other media in general, like, for example, Vincent and Shannon in particular sang Love is an Open Door from Frozen, which was a very awesome performance, and I could have sworn I think they might have briefly alluded to, yeah, you've seen this online, for those who have seen Animated James and Van Millen's Love is a Yummy S'more video. Coincidentally enough, came out the previous Ponycon weekend. Yeah, it was just awesome to see that performance. Besides that, one of the performances that went on there was was Elena Hall, who for the first time in any convention in general, at just anywhere, it was going to be the first time that she would do a live performance of Just a Pony, the song that she sang as Rara in the episode. By God, it was beautiful. As cliche as this will sound, literally no words can describe how amazing that performance was. As far as I'm aware, no one was allowed to record it for legal reasons, but I can just tell you guys that that was really such a wonderful performance from not even just from her, but from all of them in general. Like, I had a really great time at that concert, and it ended up shaping out to be better than my expectations. Okay, I'm gonna take a break in between here because I've noticed throughout this entire m3Atl0af blog I've been stuttering and not talking right all throughout. So if you guys managed to salvage through all of that messiness, then number one, I thank you, and number two, I do want to apologize for how weird I'm kind of sounding right now, and for even breaking in the immersion right now, talking about how weird I am. But in general, this is just how I am, ladies and gentlemen. This is just me totally winging it, not using anything but bullet points I made in advance. And it in general, when you're recalling something from that long ago and just trying to recall the good times, and it's sometimes a hard thing to do for some people, especially when they're on recording. But I hope you guys can manage through all of this. So far, I don't think I'm doing a bad job, so I guess to continue with the sort of retrospective, I really enjoyed the Meet the Wild Bird Fun panel. I didn't expect they would actually bring real animals into the panel itself. It was a really great educational panel. Obviously, any panel that Lauren Faust has been part of, it was great to learn more about her and her childhood, how she came into the industry of animation and writing, how she came into working on the show. It was great to learn more about the voice actresses in general and the voice actors as well. One of the things that I actually loved was the comic reading. The basically what they were doing. I think this was on Monday. This was one of the last panels that they actually did in the main hall. They got all the voice actors and actresses that were guests from that weekend, and they got them all to read off of 2 of the issues from the IDW comics with alongside Andy Price, which was a really, really funny and amazing panel. And if there's any, obviously the panels will go up on YouTube eventually, but I really recommend checking that out because that was a really hilarious time. And shout outs to everyone who was on that panel for doing that. Of course, we had some musical performances as well. Of course, we had, as always, tradition, we had Lady Aria Fantasy, who gave off another beautiful concert performance. And, you know, it was an honor to have recorded at least half of it because I was on break during that. But it was great that we finally got to do it in full, be as close to the performance as possible, because I do legitimately love it every time we have that event in Ponycon. Of course, as with most conventions, you can't just end off the first night without some sort of rave event, so that's exactly what was happening during the 8 o'clock hour of Saturday. There was, you know, a laser show, we had a, you know, dance party, and it was just great to be part of that as well, getting down and relaxing from the hard day. Celebrating who we are as bronies coming together, not from just the United States, but from around the world. I also want to give a shout out towards a particular panel at Ponycon. That's literally the name of it, like @ Ponycon, which is based off of the Comedy Central show At Midnight. And it was a really, really funny panel, and I really hope you guys get to experience that when it comes out on YouTube. Tabitha St. Germain also came to this convention in the form of Skype once again, and it was great seeing her too after a long while, and seeing how she is, you know, with the show and everything, you know, what she thinks about all of it so far. Cosplay this year, though. For those of you who are unaware, I actually did cosplay this year. I technically did last year, but it was like a pseudo cosplay because I didn't really have everything I wanted for it. But this year, I finally accomplished it, and at a better time than never, I finally got to cosplay as my OC, Meatloaf Man, in the most complete way possible. Finally found the yellow jacket, and I owe it to Lawrence for him buying that as a gift for me. I got to, you know, wear my alicorn wings and horn, and it was great because absolutely nobody kind of bashed on me for being an alicorn OC, and, you know, that's the kind of attitude that I think we need to start having at events like these, you know, not bashing on other people's cosplays just because you think it's, like, stupid. Everyone who went up to me about my cosplay in general really liked it. It's kind of heartwarming because by the end of it, one of the convention heads, Keith Butler, who actually runs a panel about why you should never have an alicorn OC, a bad one anyway, a badly designed one. He actually complimented me as the only alicorn OC I liked, and that was really heartwarming to hear. Pretty much got his approval. Lorenzo, of course, went with his Rainbow Dash wing, so I'm gonna, when I finally get to designing an OC for him, I'm probably just gonna make him like a blue Pegasus, which is probably which is probably fitting for him since, you know, he is highly associated with the color blue. I don't know if you guys ever noticed. Isaac and Caesar, as far as I'm aware, didn't cosplay. They just went as their regular selves, and of course, I had my Rainbow Dash plushie around as always since you know, the beginning times. It's actually kind of cool because I've had that Rainbow Dash plushie since technically the first Ponycon, and, you know, I've had it here for the sort of last one, so that's also another closed book. Other cosplays this year was just fantastic. There was one I saw someone did Detective Rarity, which I really enjoyed. Another person did Deadpool in a fancy suit, which, fun fact, I've actually met that Deadpool before at a previous convention at Liberty City Anime Con, which you guys will see eventually. My friend Honorbound Brony brought a homemade shield for Andrew Francis, the voice of Shining Armor, to sign, and also Vincent Tong. And it was really awesome to see it in person and looking at the effort that he put into making that. My friend Akuma TH, who I also met up with, also had a jacket that had a logo of it for his Green Lantern Apple Bloom comic that he does, and it was awesome to, like, actually see that as if it was some sort of, like, an actual product you can buy. You know, the custom-made stuff like that is something I always get a kick out of seeing. Me and Lawrence have a friend named Kid. She did an excellent Fluttershy cosplay this year. Very realistic, and it was awesome that, you know, every time we go to one of these conventions or events with Isaac, you know, it's always a great photo opportunity for, you know, for him and Kid and for all these other cosplays, and just seeing all the albums uploaded or in our videos. It was also something that I in general, I wanted to highlight this year, because I noticed when we did a Ponycon video, we never really cover cosplay too much, and as always, it's something that I want to explore, since it's always awesome to see how much effort the fan community puts into these things that they only wear for about 3 days on average. Of course, as always, you had Discord, who was the sponsor at the convention. Awesome cosplay as usual. You know who you are. You're probably my favorite of any Discord cosplayer out there. Products-wise, I got to buy a bunch of posters. I got to get some from Denny Bud, like a Apocalyptic Future Dash, Pinky, and Maud from the Season 5 finale, which all of these posters, by the way, are up on my wall at this point. There's one of, like, the main cast with Sunset and Spike included. Also, a Dems Fighting Herds poster, which I really wanted, because I am a backer of that game. By the end of the con, I ended up walking away with unfortunately it wasn't medium-sized because I couldn't find my size, but a large Ponycon t-shirt drawn by Andy Price himself, which I'm not sure if I should get signed in the future, but maybe. Something that I definitely knew I wanted to get was the bow tie plushie. Now, for those of you who are unaware, last year the convention mascots Cabby and Liberty got their own plushies, and obviously those were on the top of my hit list. I wanted those so badly because they were, obviously they were adorable and there would be great mementos for the convention itself whenever it's not running. So I got them last year. Literally, like, they were plentiful in stock, but this year in particular, bow ties were like kind of limited, made on the spot, first come first serve basis every day. And unfortunately, I couldn't exactly get one that weekend, but and I was kind of losing hope that I would never be able to get one because I did put down a pre-order for it, but eventually I did get it in the mail a few weeks ago from this recording, and now it's here in my home alongside the other two mascots, and I now own all three mascots in plushie form, and it's great because now I can look back at them and recall all the good times we've had. Definitely one of the purchases that I loved, and was also technically one of my final purchases from in Ponycon history, is this like perler bead Rara that I got from the Perler Pony, who is Calpain's girlfriend from Equestria Daily. Calpain I also got to meet up with again, and he remembers me as well. Very awesome dude. Please, by the way, I'm gonna give him a plug. Go check out his Ponycon retrospective article on Equestria Daily. I'll probably leave a link to it in the description. It's a really excellent read, and he's pretty much does a better job of describing the entire weekend than I'm doing right now, admittedly. But Perler Bead Rara, they actually ended up selling one of those to Lena Hall herself, and I knew from then on that, I wanted to get one myself, and I think it was actually the last one that they had for that weekend. For one, I knew I wanted to get something from them, and, I was deciding if it should be the vinyl scratch one or, the other ones that they had there, but I ultimately went with Rara because, again, that song helped me out through tough times, and it was great to meet Lena Hall, and it would be something to leave that place on a high note with. But yeah, so I'm proud that I made that purchase, and it shall forever either hang in my room or be worn on me whenever I go out and decide to wear it. But yeah, I enjoy having it. So kudos to you guys for having that there. I definitely met a lot more people and purchased a lot more stuff from Ponycon, and a lot more that really, unfortunately, don't come to mind at the moment. But as you can tell from me constantly jumping from place to place, that I obviously have a lot of great memories and had a great time this year at the convention. And that's really, at the end of the day, what's most important when you take away everything from this. You always think about the pros when it comes to a con. What you enjoy. Like, as much as I like to talk down our experience on BronyCon 2012, it wasn't all that bad of an experience. We still got to meet those honorable people. We still got to do a bunch of cool stuff in between. It's just, a couple things in between there made it kind of hard to pull through, but, that's the thing with conventions in general. You're gonna have some bad times, you're gonna have some good times, but you're always gonna somehow find harmony in between that, and that's what's most important at the end of the day. Coming together, meeting all of these fantastic people, sharing wonderful bonds and memories with them. In my opinion, you can only get such an experience at a very limited amount of other places beyond great conventions, so. But I guess with all that said, I should probably move on to the grand finale of the entire thing, and I do mean the grand finale. It was the final panel of the entire event. It was called The Landing. It was first called Convention Takeoff, because it was sort of like airplane themed. They had a cool little instructional video that looked like one of those airplane safety videos you would see. I'll link to that as well in the description. It was a really funny watch, and they did a lot of great work on recording that. But It was the final panel, everyone was giving their special thanks, oh, special thanks to our guests, and the voice actors and writers came on, and they started throwing free stuff everywhere, free plushies and free t-shirts and all that, and I wanted one, but I wasn't in the general vicinity of their throwing distance. But it was cool to see that, just giving away the stuff, but at the same time it surprised me because, they're giving away these products that they're trying to make a profit off of. Now, at first, I find that suspicious, but I didn't really, let it get to me. It's the end of the con, we still have plenty of these on hand, and, just want to give them away, be nice, and all that. Thank them for coming the whole weekend. Then we get on to the, the host coming out and giving special thanks to the entire staff. You have Daniel, you have Raul, you have Bill, who I think, I believe was actually out sick that Monday. Of course, Keith and Karen themselves. We basically everyone. Both Alexes. I can't forget about mentioning them. I didn't mention anyone's name. It doesn't mean you're not significant. But yeah, basically everyone who have been significant to the con that year and throughout all 4 years of its run were mentioned. And it's weird because at the same time, the final landing panel was going on longer than usual. It was supposed to be from 4:30 to 5:30, but it kept going on into 6 o'clock, and that's when a lot of us started to get pretty suspicious, especially since it started to get more and more sad in terms of the special thanks, almost as if this whole shindig wasn't going to happen again. And of course, they brought up the crew and thanked us as well. I got to go up there with my buddies and my coworkers, and it was great. Then afterwards, after all is said and done, the sad news came. Keith had to deliver and was very sad to deliver, and we were all shocked when we heard. Unfortunately, this would be the last Ponycon ever. At least, we don't know if it's ever gonna happen again in future years, and it's very unlikely given what me and Lawrence, confirmed with them after the fact. Basically, there's not gonna be a Ponycon 2017. There's not gonna be any future event as of what we know right now. This would be the last event, and if there would be another Ponycon in New York, it would not be run by F.U.N, at least. After that, they gave special thanks to the audience for supporting them over the years, and everyone started, leaving. A lot of us were sad. A lot of us, me included, admittedly, were all actually crying and were really, really sad about this. And the reason why we would be sad over something like this is because this event has such a huge impact on us. And when it comes to me in general, I know, yeah, there can always be another pony convention in New York that could start up at some point. The whole reason, with Ponycon in general, BronyCon left. Now Ponycon is the new New York home convention for the Brony community. I don't know. At first, when the news came out, yeah, I was very sad, and at the same time, I was thinking, even if someone starts this up again, will it be just as memorable, or will it fit the same mold and be the exact same, run the exact same way as our buddies did it? Will it be the exact same experience? Will it be on for a good while? I was thinking that, I how I told you guys earlier, this would be any other year. I can't wait to do this again next year and meet all sorts of people. I was even telling people oh, I can't wait to see you guys next year, hope to see you then, hope you guys come back, and telling people, hey, if you guys want to volunteer, then, we're always looking for new people for next year. And I was also yeah, I could probably meet this person and get their autograph next year, or I could probably buy this product if they come next year, and lo and behold, there is no next year whatsoever. Probably unless they come to another convention that I managed to head down to, but yeah, there's not going to be a next year, guys, so it was sad at first, but eventually, as weeks went on, I did eventually get over it. But hearing that sad news, it actually did put me in sort of a state of shock and a little bit of depression for about a month. I didn't really want to talk publicly about it. I didn't have a full opinion that I wanted to be public about. And a lot of people at that point were asking me, what did you think of Ponycon? How was Ponycon? Etc., etc. I had to tell them it was the last one, but it was a great last year. Regardless of such, I had a great 4 years of experience over there. And, just be the bearer of bad news, but at the same time, tell them that it's not really all that bad. It's also kind of the same reason why I've been on, besides schoolwork, obviously, it's been a reason why I've been on sort of a hiatus with this kind of online work for my channel and everything. It's because the state of shock that I was in, I just wasn't really motivated to work on this kind of stuff at all. And that's not the convention's fault by any means. It's kind of really my own fault for not sucking it up sooner. But hey, it's something that people go through. And quite honestly, I'm glad to be out of it, first of all. And looking back now, it was a great 4-year run. And it's kind of funny because Lawrence at one point, I think on the last day, mentioned like, do you feel like you're kind of getting tired of doing this, like not going to the convention, but just doing this like exact same work all the time? And, admittedly, it did feel kind of tiring after a bit of a little while, but obviously as a year would pass by, I would be up for being their camera guy again. So, but yeah, like I keep saying, it was a great year. It was a great Ponycon 2016 in general. It was a great year, 4 years of going to Brooklyn, one time in Jersey, and seeing what kind of party these guys can pull off. It was an honor to meet so many amazing people, both guests, horse famous people, and regular attendees alike, making friends with a lot of them. Definitely, and as crazy as this will sound, this event has made a huge impact in my life, and it was great to have been a huge part of it. Not only just, making YouTube videos chronicling the events for the future of time itself for people to look back on, but also just making friends with the people who run this place and being part of the magic that holds it all together. Unfortunately, you're always going to have some, crappy people out there who will make some sort of propaganda and bad reviews, based on their experience, which apparently is the only reason they would go to such an event, which, by the way, screw those people who would give it such a bad review for those reasonings alone. There's always going to be way, way more people, an overwhelming amount, who say they had a great experience in general. Like, everyone I've talked to had a great time at the con, so Ponycon in general is something that I'm never going to forget, and it's something that I've definitely learned a lot from. I've learned a lot from the event itself, from the people I've met at it, the people I've got to be friends with because of it. It's all definitely carried out into the stuff that I do for the F.U.N channel and for Team Triforce. It's gotten me to be a more open person and to converse with more people than, just be shy and not open myself up to new experiences. And like with the show itself, it taught me to pretty much be a better man than I was years ago. I'm not saying I was bad, but, just a better person in general today. I think at the end of the day, that's the most important thing to take out of it. That's just pretty much my my whole thoughts in general. I had a really great time. If I don't really do ratings, but if I had to give this con a rating out of like 10, I give it an 11. It was really that awesome of an experience, and I'm honored to have been a part of it. So to the staff at Ponycon, for so many years, for holding such an amazing event with many memorable events within it, and inviting all these great people to it and attracting all these people from around the world. Thank you so much, and thanks for making me and my friends a part of it. Of course, this won't be the last time I'll be talking about it. Hopefully, we'll be doing another m3Atl0afblog episode where we'll get to retrospect on our experiences from all the years in general, which we probably will get to when all the videos get up. I think that'll probably be the best time to do it. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for listening and for putting up with me throughout this whole hour, and for waiting this long for this topic to come out. Again, I'm sorry I didn't get it out right away, but I explained my reasoning, and in general, I think I did my best to explain my experience and my whole thoughts on the matter itself. Despite it being the end, I don't think it's gonna be the end, like, in general, of, like, it's not the end of conventions, people. There's always gonna be more events. There's gonna be more Bronies-NYC events that I'll be attending, run by the exact same people. The magic will never stop. One event will end, but others will continue, and others will arise, and hopefully there is another Pony Convention in New York. It'll fulfill the same excitement as Ponycon has. So yeah, something to definitely look forward to, especially since I've been hearing a lot of things that some people have actually been in the talks of bringing it back. under their own wing. But in general, with the Ponycon that I've been used to for 4 years now, I do like the way that Karen herself actually put it. She had an analogy where Ponycon was basically kind of like a horse, where after 4 years they reach its maturity. And yeah, that's kind of what Ponycon is essentially when you put it that way. And by the way, if you guys want to read the whole reasoning as to why they closed down the convention, I didn't really go into it, but if you guys want to read about it, please go check out the homepage of the website where the full explanation is on there. Keith and Karen do a better job of explaining why they decided to bring it to a close than I can possibly explain to you right now. Especially since I really just want to end this off and not keep you guys on here any longer. So yeah, once again, special thanks to the Ponycon staff. Good luck with everything. Well, I should say good luck. That's bad karma when you're an actor. But best wishes for everything that you guys do in the future with anything that you guys end up running. Shoutouts to all the guests, attendees, and other people that I have met over the years. You guys are all equally as awesome. This one is definitely to all of you. And I think with that said, that's gonna wrap us up. So here is your question of the episode. If you attended Ponycon, what are your final thoughts about the event as a whole? You know, and keep in mind, I do insist on having positive feedback only. You know, if you have anything negative to say, please don't say it. If you call out the con or anything like that, or I want to keep it a positive, upbeat conversation going on down there, and I want nothing negative. If you have any negative thoughts, like just constructive criticism, you know how to do it. And if you start any sort of comment wars, I'm definitely going to delete comments and block people, so don't even bother. If you did attend the convention, what are your final thoughts? What are your thoughts on all 4 years if you've been to the other editions of it? And what are your thoughts on our experiences from what I described from this year anyway, and from any videos you may have seen of us attending the event? If you've never been to a Ponycon event, what event that closed down did you fondly enjoy? What memories do you have? I think that's pretty much it, so if I forget anything, as always, I'll just leave it in the description or comments. I want to thank you guys for listening and for waiting out once again. Future videos and next episodes hopefully will come out soon, especially since the anniversary as of this recording is around the corner. So thank you guys for listening, and see you guys next time. Peace out, and Brohooves forever. Let the rainbow remind you that together we will always shine.